Hi everyone, this is Killshot 99 Gaming. This is The Walking Dead Season 9, Episode 5. Rick's final scenes. They are epic. They are brutal. Pictures are starting to surface. So hopefully you guys haven't seen all of these, but they do create some good dialogue. I know there is some extended minutes out there, some opening scenes that are out there. But these pictures, some of them are from AMC site. Some of them are probably from the opening minutes. So You'll see what I'm talking about, but we got some really good conversation around these and what some potential things that could happen. So we are going to try to meet that criteria, epic and brutal, and I think some of the theories that are out there will, and we're going to talk about a brand new theory that is super, super strong, but doesn't have to do with Rick. So you'll see what I'm talking about just in a couple seconds. I want to thank everybody for being here tonight. I know it is a busy, busy October. Everybody's just searching the internet trying to find any little bits of information they can possibly come up with. So hopefully we're going to give you something a little bit different. It's pretty interesting stuff, though, because we mentioned last night we hit 80,000 subs, so I want to thank everybody just for being a part of that growth. And I remember a couple of years ago when there were just pretty much 3 of us doing this. You probably know the people out there that I'm talking about. And now it seems like there are hundreds and hundreds of YouTube videos on theories. And look, it's great. A lot of different ideas, but it is definitely clouding the airwaves a little bit. So I want to thank you for your long-term support. And I know you could pick anywhere, so appreciate you being here every night at 9:30 where we kick it live. We got Pete D with a super chat. Pete D says, nothing useful to add, just showing some support. Pete, anytime you come in, it is useful to add. So thank you so much, Pete. Appreciate you being here and being a part of this channel and everything that we do. So you see the image that is up here. I do have to bring up the realism in this image. There's a little bit of blood on the horse's leg. You can see the handprint from Rick. And because of this, a lot of people are thinking that Rick has to be in the situation. He has to survive it. Because it does. It looks real. We're going to show some follow-up pictures to this as well. You know, I guess it's tough to debate it because we know what we see. And if they sell it as real, we're going to feel it as real. But there's some other things that might disprove this just a little bit. Are you guys ready for a little different theory that's floating around out there? Anybody ready for something that's not Rick-related? And then we'll come back to how this Rick could be out-of-body experience and a couple other things that are hitting full circle. So this has to do with Maggie and Michonne's standoff. I don't know if I fully believe it, and if in the context of what's going on it could happen. And Julie McGuire, Julie, you got it. You're on the right path there because Julie is Lucilleing it. So I've heard a couple fan theories out there, and I like it. I really do like it. The theory is that Maggie and Michonne have words, and I want to know your honest thoughts about this. And Maggie will end up leaving in episode 6, but before she leaves, to really get back at Negan, she destroys Lucille in front of him to make him feel the same pain that she felt in losing Glenn because she knows how important that is. I want to know your thoughts on that. I love it. I absolutely love it. Instead of actually going through and killing Negan, destroying Lucille. What do you think about that? I heard that from a couple of sources, and I was blown away. I was like, you know what? That accomplishes so much. And I think it's very possible because we saw Negan beating his head against a block wall. So if he beat his head against a block wall, and he's trying to do all this manipulating just to get the bat back, you know, and he's trying to manipulate Michonne. Just let me bring her. You know, where's the bat? Maggie destroying it in front of him and just agonizing over that and stealing that love from him. It changes Negan. It breaks Negan down, and he's going to have to rebuild like everybody else. It gives her a sense of closure and satisfaction. And I would say the Negan-Lucille dynamic is very... I'm gonna draw a parallel and see what you guys think about this. Lucille is to Negan as blank is to Rick. Fill in the blank. Lucille is to Negan as blank is to Rick. I know we're going to get some wrong answers on this, and then I'm going to tell you why I'm picking. I knew some people would say Michonne. But I think the people that are saying Carl, we're aligned. I think Carl. Because if you remember, Daryl basically looked Rick in the eye and said, "It's time to let him go, Rick." He basically said, it's time to let it go. If that bat is around, Negan is never. He's going to be controlled by his impulses. James, first of all, your comment was blocked. Second of all, we're going to go ahead and hide you from the channel. We're expecting just a little bit more maturity than that in our live stream. So, yeah, you got to think before you type, brother. So I think that Negan's got to move on. And I think it'll be good for everybody to move on. So we got Jackson. Jackson says, Kills. Your helicopter theory could really be true. Jackson, I don't want to take all the credit for the helicopter theory. Although I'm pretty sure we were the first to broadcast it. But the reason I can't take all the credit is because we have to share it with everybody here if we're right. And secondly, I don't even think we can take credit for all of our spoilers or our predictions because we give a lot of predictions. So we've still got 3 or 4 that are out there that are still live. But a couple of the theories that we're still working with. Definitely the helicopter is yeah, there's some people that took it and run with it. But I'm starting to see a lot of things that we talk about verbatim on spoiler sites. Now, here's the thing. When we talk about a spoiler, we never take credit for it. Now, look, there's been a couple times we rushed through and we forgot to cite sources. I will say that. But never have we said, oh, this is a spoiler and, you know, my cousin Joey sent me this and I'm giving it to you firsthand. Never, never, never. So I don't even want you guys to think that I am the root of the spoilers. But I will say I've heard a lot of our words verbatim put on other spoiler sites and people actually saying, I saw somebody the other night said, hey, you know what? I think this Rick ending is going to be like Vanilla Sky. And I'm thinking, are you kidding me? Hours after I said that, you just posted that? Come on, man. Don't do that to me. All right, we'll get into that in a second. A lot of people watch our channel that don't admit to watching our channel. Let me say that as well. A lot of other people watch our channel and then get out and do videos based on what we talk about. So just saying, Let me get to Alexandra K. I have a theory. All hallucinations episode is going to mirror season 1, first episode, in opposite way. Rick is dying now, looking for his family in a world of the dead, finally finds them, laughs, and dies. Ooh, that's pretty powerful. That is very powerful. The dies part, you know what? I'm thinking through it, Alexandra. You had me until you got to the dies part. I'm just not a big fan of a clear-cut death. And for those of you tuning in, and there's a lot of new people that are tuning in, I want to thank you. I want to thank all of you for being here. I'm going to identify a couple more things that I think are still possibilities. I'm still going to go with the helicopters in play, and I'm not going to change that because I think there's some evidence out there that is supporting it. But I'm going to give a couple different variations of it too, just so we cover all bases. We got Ryan's Walking Dead channel says, will Negan escape? Heard he will in episode 5 or 6. Ryan, I'm going to make a bold prediction. But actually, you know what? I'm not. I'm not feeling that bold about it. Let me give you a bold alternative. How about that? What if Michonne lets him go to protect him from Maggie? I mean, maybe he comes back and says, you know what? Let's talk. I will face you. But what if Michonne's like, I got nowhere to hide you? Get out. Go hide. That would be some crazy trust. Or he could escape. I'm open for either one. I think you could be onto something there. Jen Smith, theory. Rick fires off his 6 shots, camouflaging himself from the walkers, and why he leaves the gun behind, buying him some time. Jen, let me kind of think this through. I need a little bit more information on that. What do you mean by firing the 6 shots? Because if he fires the shots, the source of the sound is going to be where the gun comes from, and that's going to draw him a little bit faster. So, I mean, would he kill a few of them and then, immediately rub the walker guts on himself like super fast? But no, because he's not covered in walker guts. I like the concept, but I'm having a little trouble with how he could camouflage himself. And he doesn't look like he's covered in walker blood or guts. We'll get back to you. Graylin, 28, says, could Maggie set Lucille on fire? That could be the source of the fire we see on the floor. Or Michonne does not let Maggie through, and Michonne just smokes him out. That's a possibility. Let me see what you guys think about this. And then I got Villar with a super chat too, so I want to give Villar a little bit of respect. And Villar's going to say, hello, 999 Army. Kill Steph, Emmy, Kel, Sweet Tommy, sponsors, and Patreons. And is Tommy the only moderator on the clock tonight? I don't think I've seen the moderators pop in tonight. So, you know what? I might be flying solo. Could be me against the world, just like Tupac said. But thank you so much, Villar. Appreciate that. And I'm sure there's Emmy. Okay, we got another moderator in the house. So just in time for Villar's super chat. So let me ask all of you. I got to get your insight on this. And if you're new, we want your feedback. You have the right to come in our streams and kind of sit back and listen. I see you there. I see a whole ton of people. But what makes it a little bit more cool, honestly, is when you guys get involved in the chat. That's what makes it happen. That's what makes these streams take shape. Yeah, I'm going to talk, and I'm going to talk for an hour, and I'm going to do my thing. But you guys get involved if you can. And I'll make this promise to you. I will try my best to make sure you're treated with dignity and respect, even if you have a silly prediction. Because I make silly predictions all the time. Deal? Deal. All right. So, Maggie and Michonne have words. Maybe Maggie doesn't want to fight Michonne. So she's like, all right, bet. Yeah, okay. I'm going to be just rolling out now. And she sort of walks away. She got the gas container over to the side. All right, this is a prediction. This is not a spoiler. So those of you just tuning in, you hear this part. I'm probably going to get some hate mail saying, Kill said it was going to happen this way. I'm just kind of walking through it. I'm trying to create an image of it. So, maybe she gives her the idea, yeah, all right, you're right. Let me think this thing through. Walks around the corner and is like, ha! There's the gas. Sets it on fire. We see the fire come out, and Negan gets smoked out. And Michonne is forced to free him. Because remember, I kind of made that prediction earlier, but I made the prediction. It's like, yeah, all right, if you guys liked the fire spreading sound effect, then give me a quick 999. That is the best shh like that. I don't know what fire sounds like when it spreads, but yeah. So initially, I had said that Maggie and Daryl might smoke Negan out. And then Rick would be forced to sort of help him. But now, I agree. I'm starting to think that, okay, Daryl's somewhere else, Rick's somewhere else. But what if Maggie does smoke Negan out and Michonne is forced to free him? Like, you ain't going to die this way. I like it. I do like that. Tommy, you know what? Tommy just got points. That is the best mod comment ever. You know what? I was really practicing the fire sound effect. I was up late last night doing that. And to see that it went over really well, it warms me. See, you guys see the pun? All right. Let's get back to the stream here. The comedy effect is not working. I'm good with that. I'm very good with that Maggie dynamic happening. But you know what else this proves? It proves that Maggie and Michonne are not at the bridge. And I'm sorry. I'm sorry for that. The people saying that this is real, I'm concerned that this is not real. Because Rick's journey on this horse ends at the bridge. And the fact that Maggie and Michonne are on the bridge, but they're not really on the bridge, tells me that Rick never takes this journey on the horse. It all stops. It all stops at that part. What's this all about? Give me your first thought. All right. I just put a picture up on the screen. Give me your first thought, first thing that comes to mind. Don't give me some recycled garbage you heard on another YouTube video. Don't give me something that you read on Spoiling Dead's fan page. I want your original thought, your original idea to be included in this video, not someone else's thought. Let me see what you guys think about this. You see the image, what happens here? Mike Reiser says suicide. Rick died. Rick killed himself. Okay, I don't agree with it, but I like... Sheila Max says Rick lost his gun. I get that piece of it, Sheila. Give me something more. Give me something a little bit more in depth. Pete D says he was told to drop it when he was rescued. Drops. All right. You guys got to help me. Give me a little bit more information. I'm waiting for the person to say it's Rick's gun. Maybe I wasn't really clear with the instructions here. You know what? This is going to be a wild night. I feel like some of you guys are just playing me. Give me a meaningful thought to why this gun is on the ground. I see what you did there. Zelda Python slithering in the grass. I got it. Rick throws it away by getting rescued by the helicopter. How about Rick leaves it as a clue and hope that someone will find it? How about it's intentionally left there? Maybe he used the bullets. And someone finds it later on. Kind of like a marker. Left it for Judith. Helicopter takes him away. I got a question. We got Ryan's Walking Dead channel says maybe everyone saves him, and then Jadis calls the helicopter and says, I have an A for you. It's very possible. Let me draw another parallel. I'm drawing a lot of parallels tonight. You guys should be scared of these streams because, sometimes when I get those really deep, drawn out things, this gun, we're going to do fill in the blank again. This gun is to Rick as blank is to Heath. All right. This is actually fun. I think we should do more fill in the blank stuff. Some people are like, I don't get it. Okay. Yeah, a lot of people do get it, though. So, Heath went up and the glasses fell off. Rick went up and the gun fell. Could be a similarity there. Think about it. Both being taken by the helicopter. All right, got a couple more super chats. Let me jump over to Alexandra K. Alexander says, Bridge is hallucination too. He's not there. I want credit if I'm right. It'll be first episodes on the world of the dead. Bridge is a hallucination. Alexander, I'm trying to... I agree with that. I'm just trying to figure out... I'm putting myself in the context of that. I mean, I know he's not there. So, yes, the bridge would not be there as well. But the bridge is not a... Yeah, I mean, I agree. I think everything in that is a hallucination. I'm missing part of it, though. I'm missing part of your point. Because I just looked at it as like one big hallucination. Give me a follow-up, just if I'm missing part of what your meaning is there. Randy Walton said, Rick decides taking the bridge out is the only way. Randy, I'm truly, when you guys make these deep theories and these predictions, I'm not questioning you, but let me kind of explain the way my mind works. I have to try to find a way to prove it wrong before I can accept it. And I'm sorry if that sounds a little bit weird, but what I try to do is shoot some holes in the theory, and if I can't shoot holes in the theory, then I'm like, yeah, that could happen. Randy, I'm going to think that through a little bit more as well, because there's some other theories that are popping up. It would make sense, but there's a couple other scenes that don't make sense to that. But it kind of does. If he were to get off this rebar and get on the horse and ditch the horse at some point and walk the last few feet, and the boots are bloodied, and we see that scene of him walking across the bridge by himself without anybody there, and if the bridge collapsed, and maybe he falls in the water, maybe he gets to the other side, I don't know. Maybe he's on the bridge while it collapses and it saves everybody from the herd, and he get washed downstream, then he could still have the vision of everybody saving the bridge. But there's a lot to that. So I'm not going to say you're wrong. I actually like that, but I want to get back to that. There's some good stuff in that. We got a couple more super chats. So Derek Dixon says, has to be the helicopter and be a good horror movie. Yes, but I don't know if we're going to see Rick get on the helicopter. I almost think we're going to hear a helicopter, and then we're going to see what's left of Rick and just try to figure out whether he got eaten or whether he got taken, but this gun might be left behind. And kind of like, we don't know. Old Soul. Is rebar around sticks, leaves, it's been moved? Good question. There could be sticks and leaves in that area. I'll double check it, the playback on it. And we got Kim Ames. If the bridge isn't a hallucination, that would mean Rick would fall as well into the water. Yes, Kim, that's what I'm talking about. The horse was sacrificed, giving him time to get that far. So, and Kel says smile. Sorry I'm late, but I'm here now. So, let's all take a second and consider that idea. Okay? It's not that bad. I still don't know if it's more feasible than him being stuck on the rebar and just visualizing all of that. I'm still kind of, that's where I feel like it's going to happen, and then I feel like he's going to really open up his eyes, and that walker is going to be in his face, and we'll probably hear a helicopter in the background, and then we'll find some relic of his left there. I still feel like that's the way it's going to go down. But I do want to talk a little bit about this. Let's say he really does get off the rebar. We still know the bridge scene with everybody running across it is not real. All right? And I'm going to tell you a couple other things that just don't make sense. This does not make sense. If he's trying to get back, all right, give me your thoughts on this. We will get back full circle and talk about why the bridge scene could work and the collapsing of the bridge could work, and the image of them saving it could work as well. I want to just read a couple comments here. Ryan, it is extremely unlikely that there will be spoilers for this episode. All right. Couple things about this cabin. Once again, is this scene of Rick on the horse real? To those believing that he gets off the rebar, does this happen? I got to know the frame of mind that everybody's in. So those of you saying yes, I got a question for you. Well, the blood on the horse is on the other side. But let's just say, okay, for those thinking this is real, and if those of you that are new, all right, first of all, before I get into this, because I like to give real life examples, before I get into this, can I get all the members of the 999 Army, do me a favor, can you guys get this over 200 likes? I mean, like, super fast. Can we do that? We have been streaming every night, tons of groups, tons of great ideas, awesome support. Let's show all the people watching the playback how we roll and get this thing liked up as quick as possible. If you guys are having a good time, you like what we do, you like hanging out with us, just make it known. Don't be shy about it. All right. So, those of you that think this is possibly real, I got a question for everybody here. And hopefully this never happens to any of you. I'm not wishing bad luck upon anyone. If any of you were ever alone and you were punctured by rebar, shot, or stabbed, and you didn't know you had a whole lot of time to get back to your family, and there happened to be a horse there, you gonna take a detour and go to the cabin? Or you're gonna roll? You're gonna get home as quick as possible. All right, and I saw Julia Muse saying he's looking for help. Rick has lived in this area for a long time. He would know if this cabin was on his way back to the bridge. Right? It's an abandoned cabin. So it's symbolic of another place and another time. It's probably a place that he used to take Carl and Lori, I would say. It's probably, not what it looks like now, but it's probably like an old road they used to go down. Something, right? Steve Smitherman says, too many walkers for Rick to stop by that cabin, in my opinion. That herd would take that cabin apart. Has to be an hallucination. I agree. Here's the other thing. Just as another example. I'm trying to prove that these are hallucinations. And I think for the most part, most of us agree. But there's still a few. As a follow-up question, has anyone seen any scenes from Rick riding the horse back toward the bridge. Few people have. Now he's doing one of two things. He's either, well, one of three things. He's too weak to ride fast to save himself, or he doesn't want to save himself because he wants to lead the walkers in a certain direction. So initially I would say, why is he riding so slow? So I'm not going to say that's real or fake. But I would probably be riding fast. I'd be like, I got to get out of here. I got to find a doctor. All right. But the bridge scene does concern me. The shack scene here does concern me a little bit. All right. We're going to put this up on the screen. Here's where it gets really, really tricky. And I can't make a good assessment from this because once again, we see what we see. I know it sounds obvious, but we validate what we feel sometimes by what we see. Here's an example. We know that Rick's bleeding. Dude, there is horsehair on his arm. The level of detail in this hallucination is amazing. Not only is he bleeding, but if you zoom in, you can see the white hair from the horse on his hand. Now, for those saying it's real, the first thing they're going to say is, oh man, come on. It wouldn't be that real if it's a hallucination. They'd be missing something. But then there's you got to get out of character of Rick, and you got to say they're going to make this look as real as possible. So there's the real element to it, and then there's like a dream does not have all this specific detail. It doesn't have every little thing highlighted. No hospital wristband. That's the reins from the horse and his watch and his hatchet. The other thing that I really want to point out, the hatchet is there. But in all his hallucination scenes, what is happening in every scene? And once again, this is why I don't think he gets off the rebar that we see. He's bleeding. In every scene, he's bleeding and he's holding his side. Now, if these were pleasant memories, if they were flashbacks, he would be at a time of remembering something and it would be more normal. But there's such a focus on that injury. I can't emphasize it enough. The producers had a chance to do something with this, and they could say, the focus of Rick is he survives. But they're not making that the focus. The focus is he doesn't stop bleeding. He's dying constantly. I don't think we will see him die. But I do think this injury is not something that, hey, Rick got impaled. Oh, look, he got off. Okay, now he's going to get back. He's going to make it a mile back. I don't think so. I think every part about this is, look, and I'm not trying to depress you guys. I'm just trying to give you a real analysis. But in none of these scenes can anyone stop the bleeding. Well, I mean, I think we got to see what's in front of us. And then we get people like, Kills, what about your helicopter theory? Michael, I'm not saying that there's not hope. Remember this, and please, if I'm right, I want these words to ring true to every YouTuber, every fan, every spoiler site that's out there. And if I'm wrong, I'll deny I ever said it. How about that? No. If I'm wrong, I'll say, you know what? I was completely off base with this. This totally shocked me. But the one thing that I want to happen, and what I feel is going to happen, is that it is vaguely open-ended. Where there's the possibility you could perceive he died, and there's the possibility you could perceive he lived. That's a difference in an open-ended story where, okay, he left and maybe he'll come back. I don't think it's going to be black and white. I think it's going to be, some people are going to watch this episode and I think they're going to feel he's dead. And I think some people are going to watch the episode and they're going to feel he lived. June, I don't know if it's a matter of guessing. I think it's going to be a matter of analyzing. And if they choose to do something with it, they can. It might be a little bit of a stretch to bring him back. But I don't think we're going to see him go. Because I think we're going to be having the type of conversations that we're having right now. Why was he bleeding the whole time? When he was standing there talking to himself, why wasn't he just looking at himself? Why was he dying? Because he is dying. It's not an inspirational story. He's leaving the show, and at this point, he is dying. Nothing happy about that. But it can still end happily. Well, here's the problem that he is seriously going to run into. And somebody just typed, who was it just typed, your pancreas and your major organs are on your right side? Your spleen is on your left side. And if he has a ruptured spleen, you don't very easily heal that sort of injury. So one would assume that he has a ruptured spleen, and it's a bag of blood in there. I'm not going to go through all the details. This is not something that you just walk off. This is not something I I wanna be totally receptive to this, but I have to be honest with you. If they write this true to form, how many people in this stream right now think, and I get it, R. Wilson says rebar is not epic. It's not the death by rebar that would be epic. How many people think a human, not someone on a TV show, could be impaled by a foot of rebar, rusty rebar, pull themselves off of it, and even get onto a horse? How many people think that that is believable? Hardly anyone. This is not a Marvel. This is not a DC comic. This is not someone. This is a zombie show in the role of a real person. So it does not seem possible. Tommy, in real life, he's dead at some point. In real life, he might live an hour, 2 hours. But there's no way he can do it without help. That's for sure. So, with that being the basis, and I'm not here to ruin everybody's party, I'm going to answer this question first, and then I understand. Look, all right, Lisa, I love you, Lisa Smith, but for the 1 millionth time, everybody, I understand rebar is not epic. I get it. Rebar is not the story. They did not write The Walking Dead to have Rick die by rebar. It didn't happen. There's more to the story. So I agree with you. There's absolutely a twist that's going to happen. Stop focusing on the rebar. The rebar was a point to get him in a stationary position, so we have to live the experience of what he feels and what he sees and his journey and what is final to him. He has to be pinned there. Metaphorically, I'm not going to go super deep here because I don't talk religion and politics, but the vision that I had was nailed to a cross. And I see Rick, not comparing Rick to any higher being, but you see Rick completely impaled and immobile. And he's forced to relive it. All right? Let me get a couple super chats in here, because we got some awesome super chats happening tonight. I've got Westwood. What's up, Westwood? Westwood Cronk says, his ride is possibly allegorical. He's riding the pale horse death to cross the river Styx. Just a thought. So you went mythology, I went biblical. But I do think, once again, it's open for interpretation. It's kind of what it means to us. 1189 Paris says, Rick is too much of a fighter to be captive by anyone for long without escaping to get back to Michonne and Judith. He's probably dying and won't come back. No open-ended finish like Maggie. I do see that as a hole in the story. That if Rick is gone 5 years in a time skip, But I'm going to talk about the time skip in a second, too. Because we got Robert Frank, 615. You know what? I'm going to pause from the Walking Dead chat just for a second. Because Robert Frank, thank you so much for that super chat. And congratulations on 80K. Big fan of what you do. It looks unlikely, but if the Whispers aren't somehow involved in Rick's exit, I'll be disappointed. Getting bucked off a horse is weak. So first and foremost, let me thank everybody in here for helping us get to 80,000. That just blows my mind what this group has turned into. It is an unbelievable group of thinkers and passionate people about a show. So lucky to be surrounded by such an amazing group. Now, with kind of a follow-up to that, getting bucked off the horse and the rebar are both weak. But I don't think it's about either one of those. Alexandra K., please read my Facebook message after so I can explain better. Will do, Alexandra. And I'll read the information that you sent me via Facebook, and then we'll talk about it on tomorrow's stream. Fair enough? So, let me kind of explain how that could work. For some people, there's going to be a religious, spiritual connotation to Rick's exit. For some people, it's going to be closure. For some people, it's going to be hope and the possibility that something happens. And the show does use all of those things. So, once again, rebar and a horse and Rick being trapped in a situation. We'll move beyond it because I do think that Angela Kang has some excitement. I do not feel like Look, I've gotten a sense of Walking Dead Lost before and Walking Dead exits. And when Glenn and Abraham, we were out in front of that in April of that year, talking about it and already feeling the loss, and the people saying, if something happens to Glenn, I'm not watching. Glenn leaves, we riot. Who could it be? But we already felt a sense of loss. With Carl, there were rumors out there that something happened, that possibly it was Negan that stabbed him. The rumors were wrong. Well, the rumors were right, but the exit was wrong. With Rick, it's different. I do not feel, and I'm very passionate, and usually I have a pretty good vibe about this. We'll find out Sunday night, right? I don't feel that we're going to be in tears mourning the death of Rick Grimes. I really don't. I don't think that's the type of exit he's going to get. I think they've done it too many times. I think they've killed major characters. I don't think we're going to see it. But you have to keep in mind, Space City, Rick is not the show any longer. Rick is gone. So, I feel like the writers are going to want to transition their viewers, and the viewers are going to say this. They're going to play hardball. They're probably going to say, I don't know if I can watch the show if Rick Grimes is dead. But I think many of the viewers will say, I will probably continue to watch the show, and I'll follow the story, and I will rally around the new people that are there. If there's the remote possibility that one time, in the future, Rick might make a comeback, I think that's good for business. I really do. Now, if I'm wrong, we're going to be sitting here and we're all going to be in tears on Sunday night. But I just don't feel like that's what's going to happen. I feel like it's too easy to do that, and there's too much closure, and what are we going to do? We're all going to be on here like, oh my God, that was terrible. Can you believe what just happened to Rick? I can't believe they killed him like that. Oh man, this show sucks. Oh man, okay, yeah, I'll watch it next week. God, why'd they do that? Man, I feel so empty. I don't think that's what they want to get out of us. I really don't. I think they're going to want to hype it up, and I think they're going to want us to be here like, okay, well, this is what I think it means. No, it means this. Well, his gun's still there. Yeah, but was it the helicopter that took him? Well, we saw they were surrounded by walkers. Could he be in the pack? Do you think maybe there were some whispers mixed in there, and maybe the whispers are going to capture him? Okay, maybe he still died, but we might see his face later on. I think that's what they want. I think they want conversation around the show. If you're talking about the show and you're interested in the show, these writers are not stupid. They're not. Do you not think for a moment, you know what I'm about to do? And when I get fired up, when I get mad, you can hear a little bit of that southern accent coming out. What I'm about to do is I'm about to start ranting. And I'll tell you why. How many hundreds of thousands of people watch YouTube videos in June? Just a common sense question. And I got a couple of super chats I got to jump into as well, because I'm obligated. I'm going to get to my point in 1 second, because these are pretty good statements. Crystal Singer Chick says, I bleed out after surgery, lost half of my blood, was laying still. He will die without help fast. I agree, Crystal. The helicopter could get help fast. Could. Strong words. The franchise doesn't die to random stuff in the yard. That would be lame. We're not saying he's going to die, Westwood. We're not saying that he's going to be gone. All right. So, case in point. Have you guys seen how many YouTube videos have surfaced in the last 2 weeks? I mean, from people you've never heard of before. Joe Bob's loving The Walking Dead. Check out my spoiler video. I mean, if your name's Joe Bob, I'm sorry. I'm not making fun of you. But there's a lot. So, and look, just a sidebar. Here's the difference. I'm going to tell you guys a secret. And you know what? 10,000 people are going to hear this secret. Do you guys really honestly know what makes me an authority on The Walking Dead? It's very simple. What makes me an authority on this TV show that most other people that are doing reaction videos and getting information out there don't have? Nether Fox hit it. It's you. That is what makes our channel. None of us are experts on the show. Look, some of us read the comics, we do predictions, we speculate. The difference between our channel and the hundreds of people out there just trying to pop up a video and go brag to their friends that 5,000 people watched that video is not the same as a passionate group of people that talk through it and come up with theories. That's what makes me who I am. It's all of you. It's not it's not my heart. It is some of the brainstorming, but it's a collaborative effort of everybody in this room that makes the channel, and that's what makes it unique, and that's what makes it real time, and people participate in it. There's no doubt. And that's why I said I am just extremely thankful. I know you guys can go out and watch the same video recycled, regurgitated over and over and over again. But it's why I don't watch other people's stuff, because I don't want to know what they think, because I don't want to think like other people. I want to come in and think like each and every one of you. So we're kind of figuring it out as we go. That's just the truth. But my point to this is not that we're all here. The point is that we're all here right now, and there's more of us right now. And why are there more of us right now? And why are everybody and their brother out there doing YouTube videos? AMC knows this. AMC is passionate about it. AMC wants us talking about it. They want those people doing those videos. They want people doing reactions. They want people to gobble up the YouTube time. They want Walking Dead to be trending. They want Rick Grimes to be trending. If you kill him, he doesn't trend. If you kill him, some people leave the show. Not most of us will be here, but a lot of the fence straddlers. They want the conversation. They want the dialogue. They don't want it completely spoiled, which is why they're blocking videos right now. But they want it. They want to be relevant. And if they kill him, it's extremely naive. Extremely naive. And I don't think they're naive. I think they understand this is different. This is dialogue. And I got a couple more super chats because I got the crawfish just crawled in. What's up, OU? Oh no, what happened to Rick? He going to be okay? It's to be determined. We're still working through it. And Crawfish with a shout out to Steph says the super chat is for you. See, he said hello. Thank you, Leonard. You want me on that wall. You need me on that wall. So we are. And my hope is regardless of what happens Sunday night, whether he lives or where he dies, all of the people in this stream will be back to talk about it. But we know that's not the case. It won't be quite as real. It won't be quite as passionate. We'll watch. We'll understand it. We'll probably buy into a new storyline. We'll get there eventually. But I don't think we rebound that fast. I really don't. I think he dies. We're going to struggle through the rest of this season. And we're going to have to be really ready for the whispers and really ready for what goes down next season. But just a couple more things I want to point out. We're at an hour and 3 minutes, and I know some people are going to have to take off shortly. I will say it every video. The bridge scene's not real. So that's proof number one. Number two, Angela Kang said, we love our Andrew, and we had the intention of writing him off, but we could see him again because we're playing with time. I know it's cryptic. I know, but that gives hope to me. I don't think she would have to even say that if there wasn't the interpretation that he could be brought back in some capacity. And I don't think that's just a movie. I think they're going to leave the possibility of him coming back. And number three, she just looked like a kid in a candy store, so excited for you to see the next episode. It wasn't a typical Scott Gimple, it is an ending, and it does mean what it looks like it means. And that was Scott Gimple talking about, right, like Carl's death. It's going to play out the way a typical bite plays out. Angela wasn't up there like, yeah, he's on rebar, and it's going to play out the way rebar puncture wounds play out. It was, there's a lot of excitement, a lot of special effects. Get your tissue and your popcorn. And I like to hear popcorn. I'm pretty excited about that we're going to be cheering and we're going to be fans. And I got a couple more super chats, and we are definitely going to wind this thing down. And I'm sorry. I'm sorry for my mocking nature of Scott Gimple, because I do like Scott Gimple. Maybe a lot of people don't. I do. I'm a fan of him. But his answers sometimes answer nothing for me. It's like, why did you just answer the question? Because you said about 50 words and you didn't tell me a word. Angela Kang can say 5 words and spill the beans. Like, she doesn't seem like she can keep a secret. I love her. I love the fact that she wants us to know what happens. Pete D. Kills, didn't you say Rick would lose his arm? Well, we're running out of time. Pete D. You know what? I'm so sorry that I waited. Pete D is like, I think it's a back and forth antagonizing. For every time Pete D brings up Rick's arm, and those of you that are new, first of all, I never said he would lose his arm. I lost my mind when people did it stream after stream. I got one word for you. Tara. Well, no, you know what? Here's a whole sentence. Pete D, Tara will live forever. How about that? That's payback. All right, a couple more super chats and we'll wind this thing down. We got, it's hard to say goodbye to Rick Grimes. I thought, Crawfish, I thought you were going to turn that into a Boys to Men song for a second. Actually, you did. Okay, I got to read it again. It's so hard to say goodbye to Rick Grimes. I feel you, man. I knew what you were doing with that. You made it into a ballad. And Randy Walden says, implied death or an implied lives ending. Randy, I think either or. I think it really depends on what you want for Rick. I think the people that think there will be closure will turn it into what they want it to be, and the people that need hope will turn it into hope. We are not through with this topic, but I am going to wind this thing down, because if I don't, we will get more super chats, and this stream will be going on for 2 hours. And you know what? We got to save something for tomorrow night. Guess what? I know it's Halloween. Well, actually, you know what I'm going to do right now? We've had 800 people in here. 240 people have liked this. I know there's a few holding out. If you guys want a Halloween stream tomorrow at 9:30 after the trick-or-treaters are gone, then get me 250 likes and let me see a whole bunch of 999s. If we can do those two things, I will broadcast tomorrow, and we will ramp up some more Walking Dead chat. So while we're figuring that out, I do want to give some shout-outs. I want to say thanks to all the Patreons that are in the house. You guys are absolutely amazing. And as I said, as promised, we got Jose, our newest Patreon. We also got a lot of sponsors. We got Super Chatters and, of course, our moderators. So running a little bit over. I'm going to save the shout-outs until tomorrow. I will see. Looks like, all right, we're there. We will do a Halloween broadcast at 9:30 tomorrow night. I will see you all then. Thanks, everybody. Talk to you soon. Peace.